Hi guys, hope everything is well. Another Tuesday or Monday, I should say, May 13th. I've been having a so-so day. Anyway, let's review some stocks here. And if you enjoy what we're doing here, please like, subscribe, please watch. If you have questions, you can put in the comments, and we'll read them and try to answer them if we can. And we're just gonna go through some stocks and some of the few that we like and some of the ones we trade, and the winners and losers of today. So let's get it going. Moderna was a big winner today. We really don't trade this one because we are in post-COVID mode, and it's just these biomedical stocks are just, in my opinion, too unpredictable. But Moderna is trending up. It had a nice day today, and it seems like it's losing money for Q1, but it's better than before. It made money for Q4, and it wasn't expected to. But then Q3 was terrible. So for me, because everything, it depends on what they have in the pipeline and stuff, approvals coming through, and because it's hard to know that unless you're inside the company, I don't trade it. So do what you will with that. Open was the second winner, over 6%. Yes, we do know Open's gonna come up. We do know we are in the spring, headed towards the summer. An official start of summer will be Memorial Day, and it's I would rather short the pops on this one. If you want to look how far Open has come down from, that will tell you everything. $40. Then we spiked again at 25, and then we just continue to trend down. There could be some levels we could be looking at. Right now, Open is still trending down, so we never know. It may come back down a little bit, but we do have this $5 level here. We had some type of support around 346 or so. And then we had another level around 3. So I mean, yeah, 346 and then around 3. So, and then right here at 250, a little bit under 250, it's collecting itself. So it may just be collecting itself to come back down again. But I like shorting the pops. Robinhood nearly 6% today. We don't trade this one, even though I have a soft spot in my heart for Robinhood. It's been doing well. I think he got bum rap. And I know I stayed with it longer than I should, but it is making money, barely. But it's overperforming. It's the important thing. Made money in Q4, Q1, obviously, and it did not in Q3. So finally, but it made in quarter two. Um, so 2 out of the 4 quarters, and then the most recent quarter it made money. So something to write home about. American Airlines, uh, it seems to be looking good. It had a wonderful day, nearly 4%. At least this was the day to be in your favorite rotate.
Mm-hmm. Every time I'm out of it, it does this crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't look at that either. But this should be on the list because we knew that it had a good chance just a few days ago. On the first, it was down at around 13.50, and now it's basically at $15. So it had a nice day. It got over 15. Um, so maybe we are coming in. Um, even though American did worse than reported, and that's probably why we kind of stayed away from it. Was probably earnings because you see it did come down. But this was quarter one, which you can imagine will be the worst quarter for airlines. And then it had to deal with the Boeing stuff. If it does come back, I would say, Miss Munoz and other people, put a once it gets down close to 13.60 or something, put a an alarm, a notification here. Um, between this 13.60 and this, I will go all the way down to 13. Um, it's something that you may want to look at. I'm not saying going crazy, but if you get a chance to get American around 13, it is a good buy, I think. And and maybe at this time of year when we're going into flying season and driving season and traveling season, um, you could make out good with it. Roku, we don't trade, unless it's a catalyst or something like that, but there's nothing going on. Avis, aka Car, it's just been going up since earnings. Even though it had a terrible, terrible, terrible showing for earnings, um, and it lost a lot of money. Um, I still don't understand, other than the people who own the stock are pushing it up, which I kind of felt they would do. So let's see how far they push it up, and then we can look at this. I think we just have to look at it every day, um, because maybe it's trying to fill some of these candles a little bit, get people back interested. But I would not think that this is a, a long term stock to stay in. I think you have to short the dips, but we don't want to get caught up in a bad spot with this. So now we're
You
leveling out.
mean short the pops?
Yes, did I say that?
You said short the dips.
Okay. My apologies. Short the pops. Um, and here it had came up and then went back down. Let's see if it does the same thing. It's going to be hard to get back to this 160 level.
I
But
have a short video from the NOS boss regarding this. I will, if we have time, I can share it. It's under 5 minutes.
but it's one of those things that I just think you don't want to be going long on this. Tesla um is I've been shorting this recently and have done well. Um, don't know really what to do with this. Um, seemed like Tesla had a nice day today. Um, it came up in the post and pre-market and then went slightly down, but it still was up for the day. I don't know with Tesla what long term. In my heart, I say EVs. I think they really suck. But at the same time, of all the EVs, Tesla could be the one last standing because they do make money, and when you make money. But and then he has a lot of fanboys, and I don't know if people are like, I don't know. It's just um yes, his
In my opinion, Tesla is the strongest of them all so far because um the Chinese EVs have not infiltrated Europe and the United States. Otherwise, then there would be so much competition. BYD and these other Chinese EVs would be dominating USA. And I think so far, you're right. I think Tesla has been the darling and will continue until proven otherwise, at least in the USA. But um, adoption will still continue to be something that might take longer than expected, especially over here, because not all the states would what's the word? Not prepared, or there's not enough of these charging stations everywhere, or the adoption will take longer than expected. And I don't think Americans are just going to give up their regular what do you call them, combustion automobiles.
um good time to buy Intel. I like this level. Um, and yeah, I just like this level a lot. So put it on the notes, and we'll go with that. I probably should have got it at 30, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Nike, um, it's okay. Uh, like I said, closest you can get it to this 85. Um, it's better, but it's a stock that I really don't trade. It is coming down though. Apple tricked us today. Um, it came up slightly. This is the one we should have been going long on. It was just a slow roll today, but it did pop up in the pre-market and then continued to slowly come up all day. Um, so maybe we're headed back. For some reason, I don't think this is. I feel that this is not long term. It could be. I just don't feel that this pop up is long term. Um, but it easily could be. Apple's a nice stock. Um, but just be aware that this could start to slide down. Because this did a nice pop up. Um, not sure when this gap's gonna fill, but um, I still don't have. Um, I don't feel confident in Apple. And in the market in general. The Apple was 1.7 basically. Uh, Peton 1%. Um, it seemed like the past few days, Peton has been coming up. It looks kind of decent. Doesn't mean that this is something new. Oh, so basically, Peton came up and then went down all day. And it basically popped up in the pre-market and jumped up really quick and closed right at where it was at before. And they're calling that a 1% jump. Eh. It had a high wick up, so maybe it's still coming up. Play with it if you want, but just get it at levels. Um, try to see. Um, we have the $5 level. Try to see if you can get it at 5. I doubt it will go to 6, but hey. Um, let's see what else. Macy's, we don't care. It's still in the middle. They're still in negotiations with the company that's interested. Um, our favorite Campbell's that we got out of, it seems like it's starting to move again. Um, it was up 60.61%. Um, don't really know what to do with this. I had got out. Some people may still be in it, but it seems like it's starting to move. Um, Coca-Cola, who cares? Google went up 0.25%. Nothing much to write home about. To me, I feel like this was a weak Monday, so that's just me. But it did similar to Apple, and it kind of didn't move, and then it moved as you went throughout the day. You just had to wait on it. 14% or 2 pennies for EBC. Um, Still, it's slightly up. It's gotten past our $12 area when it had been coming down. So it's nothing that I'm doing with it. I don't know how strong it really is. So I'm just keeping it, letting it do what it wants to do. XOM, I had thought about getting into this, and then I forgot. The squawker, they were talking about this going down, and I would have shorted it, and I would have made money with it, but I forgot to do that. So yeah, yeah, it looks like it was a nice point for a nice short. Um, Not sure what will be happening tomorrow. Ooh, what was it? Um, this is the one I want to look at. Not sure what will be happening tomorrow. Um, it could come back up very easily. Um, so we may want to look at the notes, but yeah, I did like this for a short. Boeing, who cares? Um, Let it come back down. Disney played a con game on us today. It was kind of like the inverse of Apple and Google. It just basically stayed where it was at, and then slowly slid down. And I allowed it to do that and got out at the end, where I just let it bleed my earnings today. Um, it didn't take all of them, but it was a pain in the behind. Walmart's not doing anything. We're not going to talk about that. It surprises me a little bit. It hasn't moved that much, but hey, we're not going to talk about it. Softy, it kind of drifted downward today. Um, Even though it says it kind of didn't move, it just kind of drifted um, down, then came back up, and then kind of drifted down. But nothing to write home about. Bank of America, no one cares. Amazon drifting down today. So this is all your Monday movers, basically. Um, Dollar Tree, we know where that's at. I feel that I'm gonna get into it. It's just the 50 days just crossing, so if you like after sure, you may want to get into it. But I feel like let it come down and then get it going into the fall. Um, when it hits maybe this level right here, close to the $100 level, and then get in it. Dick's Sporting Goods have been doing very well. It seems like it's slowly trending now, but it hasn't shown up on the 50-day. It's still behind that. Uh, but it seems like this gap could potentially fill. And what was this? March, April, May. Okay, so we have a while before earnings. But this was a good one sliding down. So if you got in the beginning and shorted it, you were doing well. Coin hasn't been doing nothing but sliding down. Um, Home Depot, it was a slide down today too. So it was a weak Monday. AMD, um, another slide down. It looks like this played around, same thing as before, and then slowly slid down. The opposite of Apple. Uh, McDonald's. I heard they were coming up with a $5 value meal. Um, some type of Big Mac meal for $5 or something. This was a slide down too. Um, oh, it was a fake down day today. So let's see. So it moved up towards the end of the day on Friday. It popped up a little bit in the beginning and slid down. But where it closed at, where was that on Friday? Let's see. We did McDonald's, Uber, Target, nothing to write home about. I even shorted this crazy thing today. No, I went long on it. Yes, I went. It came down. It bottomed out here, and then I got out basically at the top, which was nice. And then I could have had a little bit of a short, but it just kind of stayed around VWAP all day. This was the best break. If you hit the breakdown and saw that it was leveling up, got the break up. This was a nice play right here. Uh, this was a little bit less, but still, you could have got 470 to 465, so $4 or $5. But this was more or less just it kind of seesaw up and down, but nothing to write home about. Square, who cares? GE, who cares? And that's all I have. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it short today. I just want to see what's on here. Foot Locker. Um, it seemed like Domino's Pizza is coming back up again. Um, Nothing here, and basically that's it. Uh, let's see. Yeah, what is this thing I have? AMC, 120%. Interesting. So, uh,
I have a short video from the Knox boss if you want to search it on YouTube, Miss Green.
yeah, I remember. Uh, you can show it. You probably have it up.
I
Uh,
do. That's why I'm asking you.
uh-huh. Um, so I don't know how this got up like this. So this was all today. Huh. So I guess this was tied to GME. Unfortunately, I played with this crazy stock. I made some money, but it was I just got out, went up, and didn't stay in it. It went back down, but it kind of went back up towards the end. So, um, still, you still could have made some decent money. It was still over 30. I got out at 30, and it still ended up still over 30 when it closed. So, not bad. Um, But yeah, but this is just a meme stock. So AMC GME game. That's just caca. So don't really trade with that, people. I just was feeling lucky that to this morning. That's all I have. You want me to search for something, and I don't really want to search for it, but I will. What do you want me to search for?
Michael Nas, please. SS. Okay, it's right there. It's only 3 minutes.
Hey, hey, are you still a landlord? I used to be a landlord, but I walked away from it. You know,
So unless you've been living under a rock, you may have noticed that AMC and GME are starting to pop back up again. This is because a number of factors, mainly one of the original guys of GME's started to tweet again, and that got everyone
Why
super
are we
excited.
watching
Now,
this one,
I'm
AMC
going to give you
GME?
my
Was
case
it this one?
why I think this is different, and we're not going to have this
Yes,
massive short.
Okay.
today.
Okay.
So unless you've been living under a rock, you may have noticed that AMC and GME are starting to pop back up again. This is because a number of factors, mainly one of the original guys of GME's started to tweet again, and that got everyone super excited. Now, I'm going to give you my case why I think this is different, and we're not going to have this massive short squeeze that everyone thinks. And I think it's easiest to look at here with the AMC chart. You had this at $600. There's somebody who still owns this from $600. Go back and look at their Twitter mentions. They were probably saying, oh, this is going to go to 1 million. Sells off and then bounces. And then all of a sudden, the people who are up here are down a little bit less. They sell. Some other, grifter comes out with a reason why AMC should bounce. It bounces. These people from here sell, and so on and so forth, all the way down. So there's still bag holders from all of this area here on AMC, and it'll probably continue to go this way to zero. And you look at this chart, it's up 100% today, but you can barely see the candle, and that's because it still has many, many thousands of percent to go to even get anywhere near an all-time high. I don't think GME is going to be any different. I think these are great trades, and we should take action on them because, with trade ideas, we are short-term traders. We try to take advantage of them. Now, what's my game plan? I'm not interested in AMC. I'm not interested in GME. Those moves have happened. What I'm going to do is try to follow the playbook of what happened last time we had these massive short squeeze. There was a GME moved and then crashed down, and then AMC moved and then crashed back down, and then you had Bed Bath and Beyond was a thing that's bankrupt now. You had BlackBerry, you had Nokia, you had all of these stocks that were heavily shorted. It's like the crowd, the group, cycled through one after another. Awesome thing that we do at Trade Ideas is we give you the short float data. So I'm going to go through tonight, but I wanted to show a couple that I kind of like already. So Beyond Meat has an interesting level here, around 850 or so, and a 41% short float. If we can break through that tomorrow, maybe that's the next target. I'm always looking for the next target. I'm not FOMOing into the last target. Right? I want to find what they're interested in next. RILY. Right? Big breakout of a long-term base here, a pullback, and a little bit of a push, a 56% short float on this particular name. Take a look at something like CAR. And we have a 10% short float, but 4 days to cover on this name and a nice little tight base. So what I would do is I would load up your Trade Ideas scanner. If you don't have Trade Ideas, link in the description below, use Stats Edge, save yourself 15% off, and try to find a list and build a list of what you potentially think could be next. Then you can go into it with a game plan. Instead of buying something like GME that's up a couple 100% off its lows, still thousands of percent off of its highs, try to just find what potentially could be the next one, because if the herd moves and you're prepared, to me, that's where you can profit when we have these short squeeze moments. For more of this content, make sure you go to stats.trading.com, sign up for the email list there. I'll talk to you guys soon.
So the reason I wanted you to hear that is because CAR could be the potential next squeeze, and that's kind of what we wanted. So we have to put a watch on
Why
that.
did you
As
say car could be the potential next squeeze?
he put it on the list, and also beyond meaty. Keep going, keep going,
And what makes him think car could be?
because of the percentage of short float and days to cover.
Awesome thing that we do at Trade Ideas is we give you the short float data. So I'm going to go through tonight, but I wanted to show a couple that I kind of like already. So Beyond Meat has an interesting level here, around 850 or so, and a 41% short float. If we can break through that tomorrow, maybe that's the next target. I'm always looking for the next target. I'm not FOMOing into the last target, right? I want to find what they're interested in next. RILY. Right? Big breakout of a long-term base here, a pullback, and a little bit of a push, a 56% short float on this particular name. Take a look at something like CAR. Right? We have a 10% short float, but 4 days to cover on this name and a nice little tight base. So what I would do is I would load up your Trade Ideas scanner. If you don't have Trade Ideas, link in the description below, use Stats Edge, save yourself 15% off, and try to find a list and build a list of what you potentially think could be next. Then you can go into it with a game plan. Instead of buying something like GME that's up a couple 100% off its lows, still thousands of percent off of its highs, try to just find what potentially could be the next one, because if the herd moves and you're prepared, to me, that's where you can profit when we have these short squeeze moments. For more of this content, make sure you go to stats.trading.com, sign up for the email list there. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Do you have anything to add, Elisa?
Basically, just be on the lookout for these short squeezes, because AMC and GME have led the baton today. And what he's basically saying, if you miss the boat on those, there still could be some opportunities with these other names as well. That's all.
Like and subscribe, people. Goodbye.